Jujutsu Kaisen fans truly are something else. Creatures, even. And this, as you can see in front of you, is the top 20 Jujutsu Kaisen ships in Japan for 2024. And taking a look at this list, I think there's something that really does start to stick out, no pun intended, with the ships here on full display. The fact that Gojo and Yuji is at the number 1 spot, closely followed by Gojo and Megami, I think really just goes to show what type of community we really are dealing with when it comes to JJK. To be fair here, I think out of anything I've seen in terms of discussion of romantic ships and stuff, I think the one ship I've seen talked about the most would probably be, Kinjaku or Geto and, Gojo. I think those are the two individuals that are, always paired with each other. I always see people talking about that. I've seen, TikTok memes on it. People have memed on it with YouTube Shorts, etc. So, all things considered, in thinking about it, it does make sense that that would be the case. That would be relatively high. But the fact that Gojo and Yuji and Gojo and Megami is higher than that, it actually just, I think this is the reaction. I think this is literally my reaction. And then people say weird. At least there's one normal ship in there. Alright, so let's talk about this for a second, okay? So I'm not someone that really cares about romance, romantical ships and stuff within stories, especially within a shonen, because in the grand scheme of things, they don't really matter. They really don't. They're a good discussion point, I'm not gonna lie. They're fun to talk about sometimes, but I think that just when I see something like this, it really just goes to show what kind of community that JJK has really cultivated in these last few years, and I think this really does make a lot more sense now when you think about just the popularity that it reached on, let's say, TikTok to Instagram, etc. I think that just this entire leaderboard right here really shows why there's just so much of certain art, etc. I think everybody has probably seen that a lot of female fans of JJK were absolutely head over heels for Gojo or Nanami. Anyone remember that iconic Nanami scene from the latest season of JJK where Nanami grabs the guy and holds him by the hair and all that? There was a lot of female fans that were cosplaying that scene. I remember seeing that in the convention that happened around JJK when it was airing. People were cosplaying that moment, and it just, when you think about the entire situation, this just all makes a lot of sense. But let's dive a little bit deeper here. So I don't know why Gojo and Yuji is number 1. That one doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's the same exact way as how people try to ship All Might and Deku in My Hero Academia. I've seen that ship a lot. It's actually, from what I see, a very popular ship within the My Hero Academia community. And when I see this, it's just it's very reminiscent of that. It's reminiscent of that entire theme. And I'm just I don't know how someone could want to ship those two characters together, because for one, Gojo's the teacher, the sensei, and Yuji is more of the student, and I just like their very relationship and what is shown throughout the story. It never gives that type of emotion of romantic interest. And honestly, if I was to really say anything that really makes sense besides obviously Gojo and Geto or Kinjaku and Gojo, etc., I would say one of the ships I could see people trying to ship would be Megami and Yuji. I guess to a degree, even though they're just friends and bros, I could see that one at least higher up. I'm really surprised it's not even in the top 5. In fact, I want to talk about how number 3 and number 4 are basically the exact same ship, and I wonder how this happened. I'm assuming maybe it's supposed to reference Kinjaku. I don't know. But, anyways, what really gets me is we don't have Mei or Ui in this as well, which that's another shocker. I figured that, we would have more Mei in this entire list, especially with how she was done with the anime. But the fact that's not the case, pretty wild. It really does seem like there's a lot of Fujoshi that is within the JJK community, and, I mean, people went out of their way to say the JJ community is really just down bad and weird, and I can see that statement. It's pretty funny. Just, this... Oh, it's so good. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts, honestly? Do you think that the JJ community is cooked, like the JJK community? Like, do you think that we're never gonna recover? Have we gotten as low as the My Hero Academia community? You know, be honest in the comments below. I'm legitimately curious what people think. And you know what? What is the best ship in your eyes? If I have to say, I'm just gonna say it. Mei Mei and Ui. I'll leave it at that. Chibi out.